Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. It's time for the June watch pile, and it's fashionably late, but it's late because I've been on holiday. You may not have noticed because there's still content in the channel, but I've had a few weeks off and I am back to talk about all the things I should have watched and didn't. So I was out of the country at the end of June, right into the first couple of weeks of July. So that kind of slowed me down in my watching as I was preparing for holiday. And can you see the excuses coming along already? But first, we're going to dive into, as usual, what I picked up this month. Now, some of the stuff's already been reviewed, some I'm still trying to get to, and I will at some point. So we are going to start with something that I absolutely adore, and that is Speed Racer on 4K. The review is up in the channel. I think this is a wonderful film. It is completely out there, bonkers, crazy. It's so vibrant and colourful and weird and twisted and just, it is a live action anime in every sense of the word. I think it's absolutely great. Something that's even better than that is Labyrinth, which we got in 4K. This was and is a firm favourite of mine. I think it will always be a favourite of mine. It is a film that I never tire of. As I grow older, I find that there's thematics within it that grow with me, and I can see various differences in it, and it's just pure joy yet again. From Hammer, we have 36 Hours, which came out, which was a wonderful kind of time-constrained murder mystery, the kind of thing that I really enjoy. A man is flying back into the UK for 36 hours. He wants to tie up with his wife. She's murdered. He tries to find who kills her, and time is ticking the whole time. It was really fun. Something that I am having a lot of fun with, and that is The House of Hammer Volume 1. And it's basically just a series of made documentaries talking about Hammer and some of the things they've done. And it is so easy to watch, so captivating, full of wonderful information, and just leaves with me wanting more. I've watched the first disc. I'm going to move on to the second disc soon, and I'll come back with some sort of review for this one. From Deaf Crocodile, 2 releases. I have Hoff Media, or I'm probably saying that wrong. I am, and this text doesn't really let me read it any better than that. This looks like a wonderfully creative stop motion type film, one I'll get to very soon. I had time to watch one from Deaf Crocodile, and I decided to go for Tomorrow, which was nuts in all the right ways. It was just something kind of fun and special about this one. A twisted story of aliens and music. It stars Olivia Newton-John. Wacky song numbers throughout it. The idea of aliens and the language of song being something that really helps and makes them better. It just, yeah, absolutely just so much fun. Now on to the Radiance releases I got this month. Now, I haven't watched this as yet, but The Pornographers is their 4K release, which I still to get to, which just, you know, when you get a package in from a company, it's weird how you look at it and you go, like, I'm going to watch this, I'll watch that. The Pornographers was one that I was going to throw on first, and for some reason ended up being the last movie I got to. Now, I did watch Solo with Jean-Pierre Mocky, which was really good. Not the best Mocky I've seen, a little bit more straight-laced. A man who smuggles diamonds discovers that his brother, who he was supporting, has fallen into some political aspirations, and everybody's after him, and he's trying to get ahead of it all. It was really quite thrilling. It was interesting. I don't know if I was fully satisfied with it, but I did enjoy some of it. One that and again, I looked at this package and I thought, this is the movie I'm going to last. It's so long, it's out there, it's Jacques Rivette. His movies can be tough. You need to be in the right frame of mind, or I feel anyway. And that was Jean Le Pucelle, which is an almost 6-hour, 2-part film series. which was great. Like I was really invested in it, telling the story of Joan of Arc, but it doesn't really show it through the fights or the actions. They're there a little bit, but it's more about the conversations and the ideology and how the debates that leads to it. I really enjoyed it, and it was a real surprise to me. Next, we have Warm Water Under a Red Bridge, which that's a good synopsis. I don't even think I'm going to try to explain this one because it's just wild. Again, I really enjoyed it. It's the last film by Shohei Imamura. There's just something whimsical and fun about it, and the subject matter is so wacky and out there that it's just, yeah, like I said, I can't even put it into words. And then finally we have Le Tête contre le Mur, which is another one starring Jean-Pierre Mocky. This one is all about a wayward, I say adolescent. He's in his mid-20s. He steals money from his father. His father decides he's had enough and puts him into a mental asylum just because he's rebelling against everything. And it's just watching this character be mistreated, misdiagnosed, and put down just simply because he doesn't conform with society. I found this to be really fascinating, a really great watch. We've got a bunch of Imprint titles here. We've got the 4K of The Ninth Gate, which I love. It's one of those ones that people don't seem to be as fascinated with it as I was. I thought it was terrific. I love the setup. I love the moodiness of it. I love the constant threat that's throughout it. Great deal of fun. Boys from Brazil, which I haven't got to as yet. Escape from Athena. Framed. Canon for Cardona. Yeah, I don't have much to say about these because I spoke about them in a pickup video. Cassandra Crossing. The Adventure 11 set. Probably the next one I'm going to watch is Raise the Titanic. It's a storyline that just kind of captured me. I'm sure I'd maybe discovered this at some point, but I haven't got to it. So it's on my... So I've got a big watch pile, and then I've got the immediate sort of next week's viewing, and that's one of them, as is Prison on Fire, which I can barely remember, and also lined up as Once Upon a Thief. I keep saying that, Once Upon a Thief. Once a Thief, which I've got lined up as well. So those three films are going to be my next kind of watches. One that I watched just before I went on holiday, and that was Bullet in the Head, which was phenomenally good. And especially after watching A Better Tomorrow 3, which it shares similarities because John Woo really wanted Bullet in the Head to be A Better Tomorrow 3, and there was kind of Choi Hark had a disagreement. Bullet in the Head is by far and away the better movie. Completely, you can see the similarities between the two films, but wow, just absolutely terrific. And finally, a couple of Eureka titles. So first up, we have H.G. Wells' Empire of the Ants, and this was such a nostalgic trip for me because I remember watching these like giant ant, mutated ant movies, like way back on TV. I love the effects; they're so crazy and out there, and they try to do it as practically as they can, and it's just really kind of fun. The characters are terrific. The bringing everybody together is really neat. How they do that, and then they just let the carnage unfold. And Joan Collins is just knocking it out of the park here in a movie that doesn't really deserve that kind of level of commitment. She really goes above and beyond. Finally, Madhouse, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was a terrific story. It was twisted. It had a great pedigree of actors within it. I just loved the idea of the story. It plays fast and loose with as our main character losing his grasp on reality. Did he do these crimes and he doesn't remember it? It was so much fun. I just lived up to everything I'd hoped for. And to think I'd never heard of it before, I could easily have missed this one. And it was such an absolute joy. Of course, that is everything that I added to the collection in June. Let's go and have a look and see what I Unwatched. It'll be interesting. So here we have, it's the tail end of April, and then we've got May. Where are we? June. So we started June with 5 Car Stud, which I really like. It's a rewatch for me. It was part of the Imprint Westerns 2 collection. It's a kind of murder mystery, giallo leanings Western. Something Big was a really kind of fun Western from that set as well. Then we had Legend of the Sacred Stone from Deaf Crocodile, which was a wuxia story told with puppets and is as mental as you think it's going to be. Will Penny from the Western set was another solid film. Deep Star 6 on 4K, which was really fun. You can see Cunningham using some of the tricks he'd learned in Friday the 13th, one particularly near the end, which was interesting. It's just a fun film. Pyramid of the Sun God was the last of the Adventure Calls movies. I'd left a bit of distance between 6 and the 7th films in that set because I was just burnt out. They were starting to get a little bit repetitive, but it actually finished on a high. The Revengers was a really great film from that Western set. Probably the highlight of that set for me. It was terrific. I loved the whole idea of it, how it kind of changed the typical tropes of a revenge Western as well with our main character. And you feel as if they went through an actual journey. It was great. Masters of the Universe, I went to the cinema to see that. Fun, forgettable. Yeah, I'd go and see a sequel. I loved how it really just poked a lot of fun at the TV show, which I thought was really hilarious. Posse was the final film in the Western set and was another decent one with Burt Lancaster. Speed Racer, spoke about, love it. The Professional from Radiance, I adored that film. It caught me off guard completely. Jean-Paul Belmondo was terrific in the main character, a spy coming in from the cold and taking revenge against the people that left him hung out to dry. Amazing. Aesthetics of a Bullet was one of those ones where it was more interesting rather than enjoyable. Nakamura, good director that he is, this one felt low budget, almost lacking a sort of stronger narrative of sorts, but I did enjoy it. Taxidermia was crazy. Check out my review for that one. Too much to talk about. Yeah, I went to cinema to see Michael. I knew that story. Like there was nothing new. There was nothing that interesting. It was just there, and then it finished. Similarly, Disclosure Day was Spielberg trying to hit his greatest hits and failing. I found it a bit trite and a bit preachy near the end as well. And again, it's one that I watched, never go back to. The Outfit from Arrow, terrific. I really enjoyed this one a lot. Just loved the character. Macklin, Robert Duvall was wonderful in it. That kind of single-minded determination of like, I don't care if this kills me, I'm doing as much damage as I possibly can. Really just fun. Trace of Stones was that Defa movie that was pulled from the cinema after 3 days because it was politically not in the way that the government wanted. I really enjoyed that as well. And it was one that I was expecting to be a lot harsher or harder to get into, but I was easily into the story. I went along with it and I kind of loved it. The Land Demands Blood is one of the things on the House of Hammer Volume 1 set. A lot of them weren't actually available on Letterboxd for me to log at the time. We'll need to go back and see if they're still there. Great. Black Rabbit, White Rabbit from Deaf Crocodile was another Shahram Mokri film, and it's twisted and it falls in itself, and it's a never-ending loop of twisted ideals. Loved it. Do I fully understand it? Not quite. Does it matter? Not really. Labyrinth, I again spoke about loving that. Tomorrow, again, I spoke about that briefly. Ninth Gate, loved it. Solo, I kind of mentioned that. Bullet in the Head, yeah, fantastic. And then we have 3 movies that I watched in the plane over to Canada. which was Weapons, Sinners, and Trap. Weapons I really enjoyed. Sinners I loved. And then Trap, basically I watched that because it fit in with the time I had left, and it was... even now looking at it, I think I've gave it too much with 3 stars. It just annoys me, that film. It just got super silly. Madhouse, which is I spoke about saying I just thought it was terrific, and Empire of the Ants, which rounds out June. So we started off on the watch pile with 345 movies. I added 28. I watched 23 discs, and I'm left with 350. So it went up, not too much, but I've really been hammering it in July already. My Letterboxd account is there. I do review every movie I watch, and you can kind of get an idea of roughly what I think of a film before the full review comes out. Let's dive into what's coming out this month. Now, we're already midway through the month, so there's certain things that I have picked up already, so I will mention it as we go through. The Cold Prey trilogy, I've already reviewed movie 1. The other 2 reviews are coming soon. Story of Ricky is a terrific film. I don't know if I need the 4K. I just love the Blu-ray. It's amazing. Murders in the Rue Morgue, I have sitting there waiting to watch. We've got some Radiance releases, the Double, the Boxer, which of course I'm getting. Beasts Unleashed, which yes, I'll need to get. Weapons of Death and The Counselor, I have those. I've watched Weapons of Death. It was a great poliziottesque set in Naples. I loved it. It's quick paced. It's got some great sort of B stories as well. I just had a lot of fun with that one, and I'm hoping The Counselor is similar as well. I would recommend picking those up. Is there anything else here? Got some standard releases and Blu-rays of various titles as well. Série Noir films is great if you haven't seen that. The Stranger Things box set's coming out. X the Unknown, I will probably get that. I've got, I love the Hammer big box sets. It's been a while since we had one. I don't know if we've had one this year, actually. So that'll be the first one of the year. So I'm really looking forward to getting that. That'll be interesting. We've got Eureka's Into the Forest Folktales, which is, something I'm curious about. I've seen 2 of the movies on that. I will check out the rest. The Outfit, which I've already reviewed, which was terrific. The Labyrinth for Steelbook, which again I reviewed, loved that. What else is there? Is there anything else? Red Blood on Black Gloves. I think that's a Treasured Films set. There's still a couple of Treasured Films that I need to check out at some point. Yeah, that's it. I think I've got most of the titles I'm going to get for this month. Some Eureka, some Radiance titles, which I will get to at some point. And then we'll try and keep it pretty quiet from there forward. Hopefully not add too much into the collection, because I feel like I've been actually getting through a lot of movies, and I've got a lot of reviews to do and a lot to post. But yeah, although it's been a month where I've went up, I feel quite confident in how it's coming down this month. Anyway, so far, I'd love to know your thoughts on what I've picked up. Is there anything that jumps out at you? Have you picked up anything this month that you want to shout about or talk about? Drop a comment in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.